me start with you, Ratin. What is the biggest issue for the young in Gujarat as you go into the polling booth for the first time in a Gujarat election?
Rajdeep, thank you. Firstly, thank you so much for having us here. We'll definitely want to like to use the platform on behalf of the entire team at CS. Would like to do a small vote appeal that all the young minds should go out there and vote. Talking about the issues, there's a very famous word this election in Gujarat that is called the winnability factor, where any party, when asked a question on why a particular candidate on a particular seat, they've quoted that we decide a candidate on the basis of the winnability factor, and that probably is one issue which I have with the political parties in general, not only one particular party but all parties, where the ability factor is not taken into consideration, and the winnability is something that they are looking at and not getting somebody. So today we feel a very, very strong need to have young minds, educated young minds coming into politics who are process driven, who are policy driven, so that there can be on ground development that can be driven over the next 10 to 15 years.
Are you saying, Ratin, that the best minds in Gujarat are not going into politics? Effectively, you're saying you're disappointed, disillusioned with the choices that you have.
The potential best minds, we probably have better and better alternatives, and we need to have way more youth representation in the state of Gujarat as of now.
What about you as a young woman? Do you want way more women representation? Where are the women in Gujarat? Very few women across parties.
As someone as 19-year-old, I feel I don't have enough women political associations to look up to. In Gujarat, there have been a lot of men wherever you see, but you don't see women in Gujarat.
Yeah, that's right. I'm seeing even out of 6, you're the only woman. I had told Ratin to get more women. So women want a greater voice.
Definitely.
You want to see women have a greater voice.
Definitely.
You had a woman chief minister in Anandiben Patel a few years ago, but she didn't last very long.
Exactly. But I hope to see better representation in the future. And apart from that, in the last 2 years, there have been more than 5,000 schools have been shut down in Gujarat due to many reasons, COVID being one of them. But I'm sure government is doing something about it, but it is very disheartening to see that...
Are you worried about the quality of education? You're a young man who's also worked with Teach for India. Is that a concern that you want to see better quality education as young people?
Of course, yes. And as youngsters, we do operate with hope. And we are hopeful that our central government, our state government will work on that. And they can. Gujarat is developed, is capable, and it can definitely achieve, it can secure our future, it can work on climate equity, it can work on education equity. Of course, they need to work on the policy aspect of it. When we talk about policy aspect, I'm particularly talking about inequity. For example, in NEP, there is
very new education policy.
Yeah, very less focus on low-income private schools. So Tier 1 private schools are capable. Government schools, government is taking care. What about low-income private schools? How will they implement whatever policy you are making?
Okay, so, interesting, because privatization is a big debate in Gujarat at the moment, the quality in a way of education. What about job opportunities? Are you as a young person, what is the big issue for you as you're going into that election? Are you confident you'll get more job opportunities in Gujarat, or will you have to leave Gujarat to get better jobs?
Sir, it depends on the job, but if you talk about IT sector, probably you will go to Bangalore or Hyderabad or Mumbai or Delhi. But other sectors, you might say you will like to stay in Gujarat. But sir, at the end of the day, it's the Gujarati mindset that does not only looks about jobs. It's more about getting your own business, more about startups. And I feel like startups are growing in India. As you know, there are a lot of big billionaires that are from Gujarat. You have Gautam Adani, who's getting this. He's the second richest billionaire, right? Second richest person in the whole world right now. So Gujarat not only about jobs, but they will focus a lot on businesses, startups, how the government can help them in it. I feel there's a positive growth rate in it, but Gujaratis are someone who will always wish for more in terms of business.
Gujarat business is business. Yeah. Young man, what's the big issue for you as you go into a polling booth for the first time?
So whenever I go to a polling booth for the voting, the first thing I'll wish is that I choose the perfect candidate who will work in my constituency for next 5 years and not just come in the next 5 years for asking me votes. So one of the issue which I am facing in last couple of years is about reservations. I guess this is one of the topic which youth is having debates from last couple of years. So let's talk about the statistics part. So SCs is having around 15% of reservation, ST is having 7.5 reservation, EWS is having economical weaker section is having 10%, and the OBC is having 27%. So this sums up to 59.5%. That is nearly up to 60% of the reservation in government jobs. So I and many other
So
people.
but why do you want a government job? Why don't you apply? The fact is, recently in Gujarat, when for a few hundred jobs of talatis, the job was opened, lakhs of people, applied. Clearly unemployment is an issue. But would the young, you want to be in a government job or a private sector job?
So even I'm skeptical about this thing. Either I want a private MNC job or a government job. But if you ask me what I want, in next 10 years I want to be working in one of the company which is in India based.
And you don't want any reservations? You want
No,
to,
I don't want any kind of
you
reservation.
believe there should be no reservations
No
at all?
reservation.